Welcome to another episode of the Wisco Fanatic Show, where we cover the Packers, Bucks, Brewers, and Badgers basketball and football teams from an optimistic and realistic perspective.
Welcome back to another Wisco Fanatics Tuesday evening. Tonight is one of our Green Bay Packers shows. We will be live at 8 o'clock every single Tuesday night from now until Packers season ends, whenever that may be. This week we are discussing X Factors and doing some predictions. We have 3 bold predictions each, and then we're also going to give our head and heart record predictions like we normally do. And then we're also going to start it off with some X Factors and then wrap it up with our power ranking of what we think are the easiest games down to which games we think are the hardest for the Packers this season from 17 down to 1. Next week we will have stat projections and some buy or sell questions, and then 2 weeks from tonight, we got a preview. We got a week 1 preview 2 weeks from tonight.
Oh my God.
That'll be after discussing the top 10 most important non-quarterback players for the Packers and doing a Brian Gutekunst scorecard and how we got to where we're at with the Packers roster. So lots of good stuff planned for the next 2 weeks right before the season gets going. So with that, with the season getting going very soon, first thing we're going to start with today is some X Factors. So, Jake, do you want to start offense or defense? I know we both have 2 each.
Let's do offense this time. I feel like I always pick defense. Let's do offense this time.
Okay. Should I go first or you want to go first?
You rip it, brother. You go first.
All right. So my first offensive X Factor is Josh Jacobs.
Oh, okay.
So with that, like, whatever happens with his legal situation, I'm not even going to, like, comment or speculate on it. Whatever happens with that, whatever. Regardless of whatever happens after that, I need Josh Jacobs to be healthy.
Yes.
We've talked a lot about Marshawn Lloyd and needing him to be healthy. I need Josh Jacobs to be healthy. I need 2024 Josh Jacobs. I don't need 300 carries, but I need him to be available for like 16 out of 17 weeks. You know, if he misses one game because he's got a hamstring or something like that, or he's going to miss a Thursday after a Sunday, like something like that, sure, fine, you know, maintenance type thing, but I need Josh Jacobs available, and that's what makes him one of my X Factors.
I like it. My first one is Christian Watson. Christian Watson is, we've talked about his potential over the last couple of years. He got paid rightfully so. I agree with the contract. The contract works out beautifully for the Packers, by the way. But you know, with the depth not being there this year with the wide receiver room, I think it's time for Watson's potential to finally show out on the field and on the screen for most of us watching him. So for that reason, I got Christian Watson. Obviously, there's a number of stats over the last couple of years of when he catches a touchdown and when he's available and the Packers record and all this stuff. He's such a good run blocker. He's just a good football player overall. And he can take the top off of any defense. It doesn't matter what DB you put on him. He's bigger, faster, or stronger than him. He could jump over you and win jump balls. I mean, the talent is there, so I need him to put it all together on the field, and I need LaFleur to trust Watson to run every single route too.
Love the way that you said that. First of all, I love the Christian Watson pick, and I love that you ended by saying Matt LaFleur needs to trust him. Matt LaFleur is my second X Factor for the offense.
Oh, wow.
I understand that weeks 1 through 3, and we're going to talk about the schedule, are maybe some of the weaker opponents that the Packers will face.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll get to week 4 and 5 when we start to see some more serious opponents. Also, I think when we get to that week 4 or 5 area is when Tucker Kraft is going to be not really on a snap count anymore. I think that's a factor in the offense. But when we get to that point, and everybody's accustomed to their roles, like Jake just brought up Christian Watson, he's not going to be in wide receiver group number 1, where they're having 3 guys and then 3 guys. He's going to be wide receiver 1. I know I talked about it a lot the last couple of seasons that I liked that the Packers were kind of forced to spread the ball around, or Jordan Love was kind of forced to spread the ball around.
Yep.
And the Packers are pivoting from that this year. And you're going to hear me talk a lot about Jordan Love when we get to our next segment, and Christian Watson has a lot to do with that. But with the Packers changing and everybody's getting their role and getting accustomed to their role, I'm going to be blunt. Just give Jordan Love the fucking keys.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so my second and last X Factor is Jordan Morgan. Obvious reasons. He plays left tackle. He was a first-round pick, so they spent a lot to get him. He's a guy that could be one of the highest paid players on this team, so they could spend twice a lot to get him and keep him. And he's protecting our franchise quarterback. So I don't mean to bring this up. I apologize. But we've seen how important left tackle is back in 2020 when David Bakhtiari got injured before the NFC Championship game. Completely derailed a what could have been a Super Bowl winning season, losing a left tackle. And it shows how important that position is. Jordan Morgan in that Steelers game had a block where he absolutely demolished a defensive back and then decided to jump off the top rope on top of him too. And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I think he's ready to be the starter. I think he's been waiting for this. So great patience by him going into year 3. Another Jordan going into year 3, taking over a very important position in Green Bay. Stop me if you heard that before, but Jordan Morgan is my second most important X factor, I should say.
Yeah, that's definitely a good pick. All right, going into defense, I'll let you go first for defense. Who's your first defensive X factor?
All right, my first one is Lucas Van Ness. Some of the same reasons as Jordan Morgan. LVN is now stepping into a starter's role, where he was in a positional battle, kind of. We know what Micah Parsons is going to bring in. Yes, Micah Parsons isn't going to be back until either the Chicago or Dallas game. I mean, worst case scenario, they hold him out to that Detroit game at Detroit. But LVN needs to take another leap this year, and he's progressed nicely for a guy who wasn't a starter in college either, and people made sure to let us know about that over the last couple of years. But it's not like it's mattered. He's still been productive. He hasn't been 13 overall pick productive, but he's still been a good player on the Packers. He's not like he's been a complete bust, in my opinion. So LVN, very good run defender. He had a play in the Steelers game as well where he took an offensive lineman and threw him with his right arm.
He did the Reggie White.
Looked like Reggie White, exactly. And it was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. But LVN is going to be very important. I need him to take that step up from a good player to a really good player this year, and that could take the Packers defense to an elite territory.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, more about Lucas Van Ness coming up from my notes in the next section.
Oh yeah.
My first one on defense is a little bit of a cop out just because it's two players, but it's a position group, and it's Zaire Franklin and Edgerrin Cooper. The combination of those two, with the Packers going back to a 4-3, I'm really focused on those two specifically at the linebacking position because if those two play well, and I think that they can be a two-man linebacking core. They're both talented enough, and Zaire Franklin is an experienced guy. He's a well-traveled guy. And Edgerrin Cooper has all the potential in the world. I think that those two will give Jonathan Gannon the ability to play a lot of 4-2-5 more than a 4-3. And I think that's going to essentially help the Packers by having an extra DB on the field, shut down the opponent passing game. You're going to be relying obviously more on the front four guys to win in the run game, but I think if Edgerrin Cooper and Zaire Franklin can hold down the fort at linebacker, and the Packers can put an extra DB on the field, I think that's going to make the defense way better than people expect.
Oh yeah. All right, my last one feels like a low-hanging fruit, but I still picked it. It's the guy who was an All-Pro when he first got here a couple of years ago. His name is Xavier McKinney. Now, I have a couple of reasons why I picked Xavier McKinney. One, he's obviously first-team All-Pro. He's a very good player. He completely reshaped his defense when he came in, and now we have a new defensive coordinator. So he's going to be the guy at the back end of the defense using that IQ that he obviously shows on every single play, every single year. He's a very high IQ player. He's going to be the guy putting people in the right spots. So he's going to be really important. And, you know, when I went to a couple practices this year, I went to one with just my daughter, and then I went to one with my daughter and my dad. One thing that I noticed a lot about Xavier McKinney is he was over there with the iPad. He was coaching up people consistently. He had Katan Oladapo over there a few times, and he was showing him. And he was holding up the iPad like this, like verbally like, listen, this is where this is what this is, this is what this looks like. He was like coaching. He's a coach on the field. He's an extension of the coaching staff. So that's why he's such a big X factor for me, getting people in the right spots. So people like Micah Parsons, LVN, Cooper, they can just go eat. And Xavier McKinney's going to be the guy that puts those pieces into place.
So my second X factor on defense is Kaitan Oladapo.
Oh,
I know I've talked about him before. I really think the Packers are going to, like I just said with Franklin and Cooper, play a lot of 4-2-5, meaning three safeties on the field. You're essentially going to have McKinney and Williams playing safety and Javon Pollard playing everything. And with that, that makes Kaitan Oladipo the first man off the bench at safety. Also, he's going to be a core special teamer. That's something we kind of saw from him the second half of last season, was Oladipo playing a lot of special teams and doing well at it. So with him being essentially the first safety off the bench and a core special teamer, I think he's going to have a fairly important role. Just maybe not one that's, publicly like, hey, this guy's a starter. Looking beyond that starting group, I think he's going to be one of the Packers' most important role players on defense, at least.
I can see that.
Justin, welcome in. You're just in time. Haha, nice. Because we're about to switch to bold predictions. So I'm just going to jump in and give my first one because this touches on something that we talked about last week.
All right.
And something that I just talked about with the offense, and it's Matt LaFleur giving the keys to Jordan Love. So my first bold prediction is Jordan Love has a 40-touchdown season. I tried getting you to take the bait on that last week, and I'm going to stand by it because it's just something like I might not have in my stat projections next week, but that's what makes it a bold prediction is Jordan Love to throw 40 touchdowns this year.
All right. I have a bold prediction about Jordan Love, too, and it's fucking nuts, dude. It's going to be my last one, but I like it. I saved the bold stuff for the bold section, right? Like, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So my first one, Packers lead the league in turnovers. Turnovers forced.
I'm glad you made the distinction.
Turnovers forced, sorry. I even wrote forced on here so people could not, be like, oh, we're going to turn the ball over a lot. No. Turnovers forced, people, okay?
All right. My second one is that the Packers sweep the NFC North. That's going to be a tough one. The NFC North is the best division in football. The NFC West is a very close second, but the Cardinals dragged them down. The NFC North is the best division in football, so it's going to be tough to do, but I see a path that the Packers can make that.
Justin, I would love that. He said Jordan Love has an increase in his rushing this season. Tyler and I have talked about that. He has the ability. He just doesn't do it for some reason. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't think he needs to. We talked about last season at times Jordan Love getting better before the snap, and then Matt LaFleur making the comment, the bold comment that Jordan Love is the best quarterback he's ever coached pre-snap. I think Jordan Love can change that he doesn't have to run if he knows what he's doing.
That's fair, but just every once in a while, if it gets to a 3rd and 4, if the play breaks down.
I'm not saying he's never going to scramble, but I don't think they're going to have any designed runs.
Oh no, we don't need to do that.
RPO type stuff built in, but it's not going to be RPOs where Jordan Love pulls it and runs. I mean,
no.
I'm sure they will a little bit, but not enough that Jordan Love's going to get 450 rushing yards or anything.
Oh no. I just want him to take what the defense gives him every once in a while, just a little bit more, just to uptick more. Also, chill out on giving the people the shoulder, okay? Just get down. You're more important if you just slide after the first down, buddy. The highlight does not matter.
Slide for linebackers.
Yes. So my next bold prediction is the Packers win 13 games and get the 1 seed in a loaded NFC. Hey, let's take a step back. The Packers going into Denver were in line to be the 1 seed if they won that game. And after Michael went down, they kind of mailed it in the last couple of games.
I think if they win the Rams game and have that tiebreaker, then I could see them having the 1 seed as 13 wins. All right, my last one, I told you that LVN was going to be in this segment. And my last bold prediction is that Lucas Van Ness has a 10-sack season, something that Rashawn Gary never did.
Oh.
But I think the combination of Lucas Van Ness, he's going to get a shit ton of playing time.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of versatility. There's been a lot of reports on his development. We saw it the second half of last season. We talked about his development. And he's going to get to play 10 weeks across from Micah Parsons.
That's very true.
I think Lucas Van Ness has a very large opportunity in front of him.
I think the double mug look is going to do wonders for those edge rushers, too. Justin said Savion Williams has one game this season with a rushing and receiving touchdown. I could absolutely see that.
I
as a
love that.
possibility. That's a good, like, realistic and bold prediction at the same time. That was
Yeah.
a good one, Justin.
Love that.
So my last one. Are you ready for this, bro?
Yeah.
Okay, so just gonna tell you, I basically turned Jordan Love and the Packers into the 2013 Denver Broncos because Jordan Love is gonna have 50 touchdowns, and the Packers are gonna tie the 2013 Broncos and have 5 players score 10 or more total touchdowns.
God damn.
How's that, dude? That took me all fucking day to think of, dude. I had 2 forever. I had 2 bold predictions forever, and I was like, this last one's gotta cook, dude. It's gotta cook.
2013 Broncos, huh?
5 players score 10 or more touchdowns.
Dude,
Jacobs?
if that happens, the Packers, they're going to go like 15-2.
Dude, they're going to go
And
nuts,
Love's
bro.
going to win the MVP, and Matt LaFleur is going to win Coach of the Year if all those things happen.
Yeah, oh, yeah. If all that happens, yeah, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, they're sweeping. Christian Watson would probably be like an Offensive Player of the Year candidate if shit like that's happening.
Right?
I would love for that to happen. I'd love to come back here on February 7th and be like, hey, all these things happened. Jake called it.
Dude, that would be nasty.
That would be amazing. All right, so let's jump into record predictions. Now, we're going to do record predictions before we get into breaking down the specifics of the schedule and breaking down which games we think are going to be the easiest and the toughest. Justin said defense has 3+ pick 6 touchdowns this year. Jake did actually say one of his bold predictions was on turnovers, so that
would be nasty.
that works out. So, Jake, from the head, what is your record prediction from the Packers?
My prediction from the head is 12-5.
All right, from the head, I have 11-6.
Okay.
Okay, and then from the heart, I have 12-5.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. My head and my heart are aligned this year, baby. 12-5 for both. I just
Oh, okay.
12-5 feels like a I don't want to say realistic because, like, obviously 12 wins is a lot. Like, I'm not trying to say that. I don't want to sound like a snobby Packers fan who's had great quarterback play his entire life, even though I have. But 12-5, I think, is very, very realistic for this team. They were nice to the Packers on the Thursday night games. I won't lie, and it's a very good opportunity for the Packers to get 2 wins within a 7-day stretch, and I think they're going to win both those Thursday night games.
Okay, cool. I dig that. I'll let you know when we get to it as we jump into power ranking the schedule now. I'll let you know which one that I have flipped as which one I have making the difference in my head and heart one.
Okay.
So let's just go to number 17. Jake, what do you think is the easiest game on the Packers schedule this year?
At the New York Jets, week 2.
That's the one I have as well. I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with me that at New Orleans in week 13 is the second easiest game on the Packers schedule.
Actually, no.
You have number 16. You got Miami.
This is kind of a hot take as well. I think the second easiest game the Packers have is the week 1 game at Minnesota.
Really?
I'll tell you the reason why. Kyler's the starting quarterback there. Who's our new defensive coordinator? Gannon. Who saw him in practice and knows all his weaknesses? KOC didn't get an opportunity to see the Packers defense fresh under Gannon. I think we have an opportunity to go in there and whoop some ass week 1. Because he knows his weaknesses and what he struggles with.
All right. I like that's fair. All right, so what do you have as the 15th ranked game on the Packers schedule?
The week 3 matchup, Atlanta. The first 3 games are the easiest games of the year for me.
Okay. That one's coming up very soon. I have Miami in week 15 as our third easiest game.
Okay.
Number 14 is where I have Atlanta in week 3. That's why, like I said, with Matt LaFleur getting to week 4 or 5, that's when the games kind of start to get a little bit more serious. I agree with you that the beginning of the season is pretty light.
Number 14 is where I have Miami.
Okay, so we're pretty close on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Justin said Javon Hargrave can also give insight to Minnesota. That's fair as well.
That's very fair.
All right, number 13 on my schedule, that's where I have the home game against Minnesota in week 10.
Number 13 is where I have Green Bay at New Orleans.
Okay.
I think Tyler Shuck surprised some people last year, and him having a little bit more season before he sees the Packers, he could turn into a pretty nice player, and they'll have Tyson back by that time.
Yeah, I was gonna say Olave and Tyson is a nice wide receiver duo.
It is. They'll
Olave's
probably
had some
ship
pretty
off.
rough injury go, but he still had
Yeah.
over 1,000 yards last season, so good for him.
He's a good player, man, if he stays healthy. Olave is very good.
I think he needs to kind of take the Tyler Lockett approach and just kind of give himself up instead of going through so much contact.
Yeah, I think you got to remember that you're more valuable playing 17 than you are playing 7. So,
All right, number 12, I have Carolina at home in Week 8.
I also have Carolina at home. We take
Nice.
number 12.
All right, number 11. This is where I have the at Minnesota Week 1 game, just because it's a road game. I do hold a healthy respect for Brian Flores.
That's completely fair. Number 11, I also have Minnesota, but it's Minnesota versus Green Bay. So at Lambeau Field is where I have number 11.
Okay. I feel like this one might surprise you a little bit, but number 10 is where I have Houston in Week 17 at home.
Wow. Number 10?
I think
Wow.
CJ Stroud is overrated.
I mean, that's fair.
And I like some of the players that they have. Like, I like Jaden Higgins. I like Tank Dell. They just traded for Kayshon Boutte. I like all those wide receivers. 2 out of those 3 are coming off of major injuries. Unfortunately, Jaden Higgins is going to miss all of 2026. And Tank Dell is coming off of one of the most brutal knee injuries that I've ever seen happen.
Yeah, you missed all last year with it.
So their pass catching group is really inconsistent looking right now, outside of Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz, who's been in the league for 17 years now, it feels like, and is kind of just trickling down in effectiveness as time goes by.
That's fair. Number 10 is where I have Green Bay at Tampa Bay. Week 4
That's
matchup.
number 9. I have Green Bay at Tampa Bay.
All right. My number 9 is Green Bay at New England.
Really?
I don't think that game's that tough.
All right, it's going to be a while before you hear me
Dude,
bring that game up.
I think New England. Here's what I really think. I think people have tape on Drake May now. I think the Vrabel thing may put some cracks in the locker room. And I think A.J. Brown is a really big X factor to that locker room as well. You've got some crazy personalities there. If A.J. Brown is locked in, he's a bona fide number 1. He's damn near a top 5 wide receiver if he's locked in. Size, speed, ability, top 5 ability at least. But is he going to be locked in? The last couple of years in Philadelphia have been pretty toxic, I would say.
Yeah. I'll hold my piece for New England when we get to where I have them. Justin said Stroud had 7 interceptions in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. A couple more than Caleb had even. Number 8 is where I have the home game against Detroit, and I'm going to give the quick caveat. Number 7 is where I have the Dallas game at home, and those 2 for me are interchangeable.
Okay. Number 8 is, and this is going to shock some people. This is my opinion. Number 8 is where I have the Bears coming to Green Bay. That Week 5 matchup. I think the Packers are going to absolutely lock in. They're going to wear those beautiful new uniforms that they released today. If you haven't had a chance to see it, Tyler was nice enough to post it on the page for everybody to see. But yeah, I think that matchup is somewhere in the middle for me. I'm just going to give my number 7 right away since you gave yours. I also have Dallas coming to Green Bay at number 7. Dallas's defense is going to be a little bit better than people expect, but I don't think CeeDee Lamb is as good as people say.
I don't think Schottenheimer is as good as people think.
I agree. I think George Pickens is the best wide receiver in that team.
Interesting.
I really believe that.
Justin said the alabaster is growing on me.
You know what's crazy?
I like it. I like that they didn't go all dark green. I think it's a nice touch.
The alabaster, I never heard about that color until probably about, I don't know, I would say somewhere between 7 to 8 months ago. We had to do a color swab for these people trying to buy some door. I paint doors and frames, and we had to do color swabs for them, right? And I painted it, and I looked at the color, and I was like, alabaster? What the hell kind of name is that? I always like the names of the paint because they're so funny. And then all of a sudden the Packers come up with these uniforms, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I never heard of this before. Now it's on a Packers uniform? That's insane.
I think it goes nice with the dark green.
It really does. Really goes really nice.
All right. Number 6, that's where I have the game against the Lions in Detroit in Week 7.
All right, so I'm just gonna rip number 6 and number 5 because it's the same opponent, and you can't swap them. But number 6 is where I have Detroit versus Green Bay in Green Bay. To be determined date and time on that one. I think that Detroit and Green Bay are gonna be fighting for the division, even going up to Week 17. And then number 5, I have Green Bay at Detroit. That's going to be a really tough game. That's a 3:25 kickoff on Fox, probably game of the week. That's going to be a big-time matchup. And you're coming off of Chicago and Dallas, 2 very emotional games. You have game of the week versus Chicago. You have a Sunday night game versus Dallas. Then you got to go game of the week at Detroit. That is a very, very tough stretch for the Packers after they have the weak part to start the year.
Yeah, and to your point, I have Week 6 as my number 7, Week 7 as my number 6, and I have Week 5 as my number 5. Number 5 is where I have the Packers home game against the Bears.
Yep.
Reason I have the Bears so high twice in my list is that team, they want to beat the Packers more than they want to beat anybody else. Let's not sugarcoat shit. The Bears care more about the Packers than they care about winning playoff games. I'm not even joking.
I believe that.
Like I said, I'm not sugarcoating it. I truly believe that that's how they feel. And it's going to take a couple years of the Bears sweeping or splitting with the Packers for them to actually let that shit go. Because it took 14 years for them to be serious.
Yeah, for real. Talking about the new uniforms, I was checking comment sections on the other division rivals, right? And, Detroit fans are just like, did we literally just copy and paste the Panthers? And I'm like, you really just copy and pasted the Panthers in a way. The Vikings are nice.
The Vikings
I don't know.
stripes are nice. I don't like the numbers. The numbers are too, they look kind of janky, but the stripes on the Vikings are really nice, and the purple and silver looks good.
And can they stop fucking with the horn? The horn looks cool, bro. Like, I hate them, but the horn looks cool on the side of the helmet, dude. They made it so small and weird looking. I'm like, bro, just stop messing with it, dude. It's one of those things you leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
The Vikings are nice. The Packers are nice. I didn't like the jersey alone, but then when I saw the whole uniform, I'm like, nice. And then you read all the details, you're like, oh shit, bro, they put some thought into this. I was reading the Bears, and man, oh man, they are pissed, dude. They are pissed over there. They're like, why are we so scared to go all navy? Why are we doing orange again? We look like
I thought they were getting all
Illinois.
white. I thought they were doing polar bears.
It's the most obvious choice of all time.
Dude, the Bengals did white tigers, and those jerseys are fucking awesome.
And you have a literal
really
bear
quick,
logo.
Why the fuck does Cincinnati keep getting all the cool jerseys? What the fuck?
Seriously. But you have a literal bear logo. You could literally put that on the helmet. That would look so sick. There's so much stuff they could have done.
Dude, polar bear, it's right there, dude.
It's
all white
looking you in
bears.
the face.
Polar
You're
bears.
just choosing
there.
You're choosing to go like this. Like, nope, we're not doing it. Looking at it.
I'm not even lying to you. That's part of why I wanted the Packers to be in all black.
Exactly.
Because I thought the Bears were getting all white.
Exactly.
We had a polar opposite. Polar bears. It's cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. They should do it. It would be cool.
We were talking about it last night, man. Yeah. Well,
Somebody said Syracuse, and I can't unsee it.
I know. Somebody said Syracuse, and I was like, dude, it does look like Syracuse. And Syracuse sucks at football. So my number 4 is also a team that got new uniforms this year, and they're freaking horrid.
Also looking like college uniforms. They look like college uniforms.
I have Buffalo. You knew where I was going?
Buffalo's where I have number 4 also.
Yeah.
Their new uniforms look like Kansas uniforms, and their new stadium is awful.
It's very, very poorly designed. You know what's the funniest thing about the Chicago Bears thing? Is all the rumors coming out that Indiana's like, oh, we're going to give you all this money. You got to change your name to the Indiana Bears. That is just the funniest freaking shit. That is so funny.
It's going to be a funny thing to keep an eye on. It doesn't really affect a whole lot.
It doesn't.
But it's definitely, meme material.
The thing that's funny about it is, it's going to be like a gotcha moment because all the people that were like, oh, we're still going to be Chicago Bears. What's the difference? If they change it to the Indiana Bears, you just know all those Bears fans are going to be sad, bro.
I've heard people that are saying, even if they don't change the name and they go to Indiana, that they're not going to be a fan anymore. People that I know from Chicago.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
So at Chicago, for now, Chicago is where I have number 3. Is the game at the Bears. That team, like I said, they want to play the Packers.
Okay. My number 3 is Houston coming to Green Bay. That defense is real, bro.
Their defense is fantastic. Their
They
offense is.
they got stars all over the place, and they got a new running back that played in this division and knows knows some of these players on the Packers. I like him in this offense. I think he fits better than Nick Chubb did. Now Nick Chubb was literally one-legged Nick Chubb, and he was pretty good last year. I think a better running back situation. I do think Stroud's going to be a little bit better this year. I think Tank Dell will be back at this point and won't be on a snap count. So I think that's a tough game. That's a Monday night game as well. So it'll be interesting.
Part of me is thinking that this might be a game, depending on what the division looks like. That could be either like a game where the Packers like have to win it so they can beat Detroit for the division in week 18, or it's a game where the Packers are like, all right, we have 2 games up in the division and conference record matters more, and maybe they try to rest a guy or two in week 17.
Maybe.
Not that takes away from it being a tough opponent, but
you're at that point you're going to be trying to get ready for playoffs, and that's
right.
a really good measuring stick game, especially that defense.
Yeah, the defense for sure. Number 2 is where I have at New England. Now,
Oh my God.
obviously this team just came out of a Super Bowl appearance.
No.
And a big group of NFL people, Patriots fans, don't like Will Campbell because he didn't play well at left tackle. I think Will Campbell is a good offensive lineman. I think he's going to have a bounce back year, and they're not going to have anything to worry about with Will Campbell. But a lot of me is looking at that team on paper and saying that team is pretty well put together, again, on paper. Bringing up what the locker room might look like with Vrabel and A.J. Brown being in there. That's something that'll kind of remain to be seen. The Packers play them in week 9, so like the middle of the season. So I think kind of everything's going to be kind of figured out by then. But traveling to New England, I see that as a tougher game. I'm not like a Drake May truther by any means. I do think Drake May is much better than C.J. Stroud. But I probably, if I were to do this again, I'd probably move New England down a little bit, but not a whole lot.
I only have them a little lower because the Packers will be coming up a Thursday night game before they travel there. So they're going to have a couple extra days.
That's fair. One other guy that I didn't mention, I also think that Christian Gonzalez is one of the best defensive backs in the game.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's absolute
if
stud.
not the best defensive back in the game. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's probably number 2 still.
Yeah, you're right. He's number 2.
I would still take Surtain.
Yeah, Pat Surtain. Yep, that's true. All right, so should we say number 1 together?
I didn't do my number 2.
Oh, number 2. Yeah, do your number 2 first.
Number 2 is a 12 o'clock game on Netflix on Christmas Day, dude. On Christmas Day, you're going to the place that your season ended last year. Micah Parsons is going to be fucking pissed, dude. It's still a tough game because of how much they hate us.
Yeah.
But I have Green Bay going to Chicago as my second toughest game this year. That's going to be oh my God. What a day Christmas could be if the Packers win.
That'll be a fun one.
Oh, dude. I can see it already, dude. I can see it already.
That'll be a great Christmas present to get that day.
Yeah, right?
And unanimously, Jake and I have the LA Rams as number 1. That team is absolutely loaded. That team is the Avengers offensively and defensively. The team is ridiculously stacked. I'm waiting for them to sign fucking Zach Ertz too and just have another extra tight end just to have all of the names that they can get on that team.
Yeah, dude. There was an NBA comp. They're starting to feel like God, another LA team. Starting to feel like the Lakers when they signed like freaking Gary Payton. I know he's at the end of his career, but Gary Payton and Karl Malone. It's like, Jesus Christ, how many Hall of Famers can you fit on one roster, dude? They had Kobe
Right.
and Shaq and like, my God, dude. And that team lost to the Pistons, which was crazy. But that's an absolute nasty roster. You're going there on a freaking Wednesday, so it's a day even shorter. They're playing. They play on my son's birthday. This is going to be
Yeah.
a very, very interesting game. My father-in-law, I've been loud about this, is a Rams fan. We have not lost to the Rams since I have met him, which was 7 years ago. And I'll be damned if it happens this year.
And Aaron Donald's coming back to that team. I've seen rumors that he's going to wait until after their international game to come back.
Yep.
But Aaron Donald's coming back to that team.
I freaking called that shit too, bro. I called that shit. I was talking to my buddy. His name's Smokey, at work, and I was like, Smokey, he's gonna wait. He doesn't want to go to Australia, bro. He's gonna wait till they come back to the Americas. He's gonna start training with them. He'll be back by week 4. He's got to get back into game shape. He's still in great shape, but there's a difference between great shape and game shape. And NFL athletes will tell you the same thing. So
Yeah, literally all of them talk about it in preseason that like starter guys, they want to get reps in just to get like the first head-to-head contact out of the way. Justin said if you're not taking the Rams defense in fantasy, you're doing it wrong. I mean, like I said, that team's the Avengers. I mean, they also traded for Trent McDuffie.
I mean, Houston's not a bad choice because they play in a bad division.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with picking whatever team Myles Garrett is on.
That's very, very true.
Yeah, so
The Browns
Rams
defense was good
basically
last
just
year.
said fuck first round picks and got a bunch of proven guys.
Yeah, that team is absolutely loaded. I'm so excited for the game, but I'm not going to wish the season away. I'm just going to wait for September 13th, and it's going to be a glorious, glorious day.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably end up posting these. Thanks for those of you who tuned in live. Keep coming back Tuesday nights. Like I said, next week we're doing stat projections and buy or sell questions. Tomorrow I'm going to be giving my reasons on what it means to me to be optimistic and realistic. Jake's going to be doing his on Thursday. Tune into those. I'm not going to lie to you; they're probably going to be a little heavy, and probably be a lot of Jake and I kind of getting real with you on why we do what we do the way that we do. So check us out for that and get some perspectives on Jake and I and the way that we think and the way that we're going to be analyzing Packers football as we go into the season and the way that we approach things now. So definitely tune in for those, and we'll see you guys tomorrow and Thursday and next week.